Researchers and historians say that pizza dates back hundreds to even thousands of years. In modern day, over 30 billion slices of pizza are sold every day, according to Food Survey Research Group. So, let's take a look at that. Today we're going to make some pizza. So when it comes to pizza dough, there's 4 main ingredients. There's flour, there's water, salt, and yeast. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with 500 grams of bread flour. So the first of those is flour. For the type of pizza I'm making, the best type of flour to use is bread flour. Bread flour is a high gluten blend, made mostly of hard wheat. This is ideal because gluten, which is found in this flour, adds a lot of strength and flexibility to the dough. However, different types of pizzas use different kinds of flours. So what we're gonna do is add 15 grams of salt. How's that look? Aside from flavor, salt serves to draw the water away from the yeast. And this slows the fermentation process, which gives a more consistent texture and a better flavor. So you're gonna grab your yeast. This is the important part. Yeast serves as the leavening agent in the dough. So it feeds on the sugars and the starches present in the dough, and its byproducts are CO2 and ethanol. But the ethanol is cooked off when the pizza is in the oven, so really the only byproduct is CO2. We're gonna put 1 gram of yeast in the mixture, and then just sort of give it a little mix. Okay, so for this mixture, it's roughly a 70% moisture dough. So we're gonna grab 350 grams of water for the 500 grams of flour. Water serves to hydrate all the ingredients, maintain the temperature, and disperse all of the ingredients as well. And you just want to incorporate the water into the dough until until sort of a shaggy dough forms. What's happened since? Our dough has doubled in size, roughly. Alright, it's about 12 hours later, so it's almost been 24 hours since we started making this dough. Let's talk about the science behind cheese. To start, there's 2 main proteins in milk. There's whey and casein. So to make cheese, you need to add a good bacteria. This bacteria eats the casein proteins and forms the curdling effect. According to the Science Learning Hub in 2012, there's 2 different main kinds. There's a moderate temperature bacteria and a high temperature bacteria. And the high temperature bacteria produces more hard cheeses, while the lower temperature produces softer cheeses. So once the milk is curdled, we're gonna add what's called rennet to the cheese. And what this does is it speeds up the coagulation process. The type of cheese formed is usually dependent on the temperature of the process and what type of bacteria is added. Once the milk is curdled, we're gonna add in some salt. Basically, the cheese is finished. So we got our pizza all stretched out into a pretty decent circle. The sugars and the tomato help caramelize the crust. And then so when we stick it in the oven, and the process by which the cheese gets brown, the crust gets crispy, it's called the Maillard reaction. So we're gonna learn about that. So the Maillard reaction is a chemical reaction between heat and sugars reacting, and that produces the brown, crunchy bits you see on pizza. The Maillard reaction is really an umbrella term for several reactions. The process accelerates in an alkaline environment because the amino groups do not neutralize. This reaction is the basis of the flavoring industry, since the type of amino acid determines the resulting flavor. We're gonna take it out. The brown parts, that's where the Maillard reaction occurred. The bubbles from the yeast expanding and building up the gas. The cheese has gotten beautifully browned.